Washington's cold night wrapped itself around the city like a quiet warning, but inside the international leadership dome, energy crackled like electricity in the air. It wasn't just another event. Every reporter, every camera, every seat in the hall signaled that something historic was about to happen. The massive screens behind the stage glowed with bold words, "The future of American leadership." At the center of the stage sat Barack Obama, calm, steady, carrying the kind of quiet authority that only comes from years of facing storms and sunshine with equal strength. His presence alone brought a stillness to the entire hall. Next to him sat Ivanka Trump, composed, radiant, confident. She hadn't come just to observe. She had come to challenge. Her gaze swept across the audience and, perhaps, toward the man sitting right beside her. The tension between the two wasn't spoken, but it was palpable. Then the lights dimmed and the hall fell into a deep hush. Obama leaned toward the microphone. "Leadership," he said, "isn't built on applause. It's built on learning. It's built on lifting others, not just promoting your own name." A ripple moved through the audience. "And as long as my Justice Department stands in court," he continued, "I will protect Americans with pre-existing conditions. That's not politics, that's duty." The crowd erupted in applause. But before that energy could settle, Ivanka leaned forward. Her voice was steady, strong. "Mr. Obama, leadership also means results. My generation isn't interested in speeches. We want action, real action." And despite unprecedented resistance and a cold audience at times, this administration has delivered. Her words carried both respect and defiance. All eyes turned back to Obama. He smiled calmly, knowingly, almost like a teacher who sees the next question before it's asked. "Ivanka," he said, "talking about leadership is easy. It's easy when you haven't lost sleep over decisions that affected millions. It's easy when you've walked on paths someone else paved." A murmur shifted through the hall. Ivanka's brows tightened. "So you're saying," she asked, "I didn't earn what I have?" Obama shook his head gently. "No, I'm saying we too often take for granted the idea that we live in a rule-based society. One where we don't have to bribe for permits or hire someone's cousin to get a job. That's how we built this economy, by believing in fairness, not shortcuts." The air grew heavier, as if the room itself was listening. Ivanka leaned closer, her tone sharpening. "And you claim I'm out of touch with everyday Americans. But isn't your world the disconnected one? You travel the world giving speeches while people back home struggle to pay rent. Isn't that a disconnect?" The hall froze. Even the cameras seemed to pause. Obama didn't react with anger. No frustration. Just silence, and then a slow nod. "You're right," he said quietly. "Comfort doesn't erase struggle. But comfort didn't fall from the sky. It came after years of sacrifice. Leadership isn't about where you stand today, it's about the road you walked to get here, and who you chose to bring with you." His voice was calm, but it cut deep. Ivanka held her composure, but the cameras caught the flicker behind her expression. She wasn't backing down. "Then maybe it's time," she said, "for the next generation to lead." Obama's smile returned, soft, steady. "Maybe. But make sure your generation knows the difference between serving the people and serving power." The hall exploded with applause, but the night was far from over. A set of glowing economic charts and healthcare visuals appeared on the giant screen. Now both leaders had to respond in real time. A reporter stood up. "Will America's future be built through cooperation or confrontation?" Ivanka answered first. "Not through confrontation, but through determination. If someone tries to stop us, we won't stop. We'll move forward." Obama turned toward the audience. "America moves forward when we listen, not to win, but to understand." Another voice rose from the crowd, a young student. "If leadership is so important," she asked, "why do ordinary voices get ignored again and again?" The hall went silent. Obama spoke first. "Because we forget that leadership isn't just about speaking. It's about listening, especially when the truth is uncomfortable." Ivanka interjected immediately. "But after listening, people need results. You listen, we act." This time the audience reacted, some applause, some disapproval. A spark ignited between them. Obama's tone sharpened for the first time. "Action? Or publicity? There's a difference." A shockwave ran through the room. Ivanka sat straighter. "So you think my generation only cares about publicity?" "No," he said. "I'm saying every generation must learn that serving people is more important than serving power. If we miss that lesson, Americans will keep suffering the same struggles year after year." Silence swallowed the hall again. And then, Obama delivered the line that changed the entire night. "Leadership isn't measured by how high you rise. It's measured by how many people you lift as you rise." The hall stood to its feet. Thunderous applause shook the walls. Ivanka remained calm, but her eyes held a glint of reflection. She raised her microphone and said, "Your words are beautiful, but words alone don't build the future. The future belongs to those who have the courage to build." Obama nodded. "And to those who have the humility to listen." A deep, cinematic silence swept the room. Everyone present knew they had witnessed something extraordinary, not a fight, not a debate, but a revelation, a test of leadership, a clash of generations, a conversation bigger than the two people on stage. And the night was far from over. Thanks for watching, and like the video and subscribe to the channel.